Cantina Caorsa, another co-op winery, as there are so many in Veneto. In this case, there's like 800 hectares, 350 winemakers that belong to this group of producers. Let's go check the wine out. We are with the 2018 vintage, by the way. Let me check it out a second. And it is 2018. You can tell the color is a little bit darker than what your usual Pinot Grigio would be. What else was I gonna say? We are on the western part of the appellation, so remember the Adriatic Sea, Venice, Trieste on the east side. All the way we go across the valley towards Verona, and that's where they are, next to the Lake Garda, on the eastern shores of the Lake Garda. Pretty aromatic, very aromatic actually, Pinot Grigio. It smells of like you know, like one of those candies, like pearl drops and violet candies. Very floral, like a jasmine, floral, honey. Pretty ripe and with a lot of oriental, with a lot of exotic fruit. So a very creamy, little sweet Pinot Grigio with lots of aromaticity. So it's very floral, very ripe fruit. The acidity reminds me of like lemon, squeezed lemon juice. The wine develops pretty much on the center palate, and it's the ripeness of the fruit makes the wine to become like an aperitif style wine. This is something that you can enjoy by itself. Good with some nibbles, whatever you've got there, some toasted almonds, some little bit of shrimps here and there. You know, like I'm a big fan of those. You know, like the cartoon shrimps, like the ones that just stay on the bowl, and then you have the dip. Oh man, I'm already hungry. Piera Martellozzo is a winemaker. She is running an organic farm. Where are we? We are on the eastern side of the appellation in the Friuli area. Her soil is based on pebbles, very stony. Why am I talking soil? Because we're talking wine, man. You want to talk wine, you talk soil. You want to talk soil, you talk wine. But with Piera is interesting because the stones, the river stones that would allow the vineyards to have more temperature drops during the night. And all of you know about that, but there might be some that might be wanting to be reminded what that does to the vine, to the grapes, to the wine as a result. Well, hot days, cool nights is exactly what a great terroir wants. Why? Because basically you can fix the color and also the aromatics on your skin. So let's go check out. What is this? This is like a circular root, or maybe it's Piera's hair. Who knows? Very perfumed. Combination of some vegetal notes together with vanilla, spicy. So this Pinot Grigio comes up with its spicy touch. And in this case, the wine is dry. Almonds, flowers, but also bitter almonds, like the almonds at the end when you finish chewing the almond. It's got a little bit of sweetness, but it can also have some dry, bitter sensation that is all counterbalanced by the ripeness of the fruit. This is, on the palate, is less aromatic than I was expecting coming from the pretty aromatic nose. No residual sugar. I think this is a wine that is calling for food. Is not one of those Pinots that is like just crack it open for an aperitif by itself, because this bitter note gives the wine an extra dimension, but also a little bit of austerity. So you might wanna match it with some food. What to go with? I'd go for, right now, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's just like I have in mind this idea of salmon, like a lightly smoked salmon. Could be dangerous. Salmon is like, smoked salmon is overpowering, man. But I would give it a shot. You guys can tell me what you think, if it worked or not. For sure, this is something that goes well with sushi. So, cold fish, yeah, cold as I was gonna say raw fish, sorry. Even crème, that in Friuli there is crème. Crème is the Italian wasabi. Have you ever tried it? Now that I think crème though, I'm in Trieste, I'm sitting down in an old trattoria, and there is the pig's head that is just boiled, and then it's served with this like sauce that's cranny, spicy, like wasabi. Man, I just changed my mind. Forget about the salmon. Go for pig's head and crème. By now, we became all friends with Piera. This is the third label we're trying, so I'm not gonna say anything about the winery, because you know all about Piera and her nonno and father handing over the business to this lady. Very successful entrepreneur, organic farm, and at the end I told you more stories. But what I'd like to say here is that we are in the Pordenone area. Once again, the water, I've received a lot of comments from you guys asking more about the water. During my previous video, I said the importance of water, and people say, like, water and wine, can you explain more? Well, water is there to change the climate. It's like one of the key features in climatic patterns. How did you like that? Rivers, lots of rivers around Pordenone. There is actually Cellina River, I just remember, thanks to my assistant over here, my Alexa. She's a real person now. I won the Italian Wild Water Canoeing Championship. Yeah, man, check it out. Seriously, I used to be a wild water canoer. How do you say that? Just going down the streams, super wild in his amazing nature. That's why I like rivers so much. I forgot to tell you that. Aromas, even from here, just from the distance, you can detect super like violets and roses, dry roses, rose petals. And a more vegetal, like there is a kiwi, a little bit of how do you say, like celery. So it's gotta be Piera's take on Pinot Grigio. This bitter note that is there, that I think gives the wine a cleansing power. So this is dry, is more than I was thinking. That I'm not thinking acidity here. You know how many times I just mentioned the citrus element? In this case, the wine is more on the salty than on the acidic side. So what you're getting here is a very phenomenal, for me, food companion. Once again, like other Piera's wines, these the floral touch on the nose is not at all powerful on the palate. For me, is a good point. I don't like when you're overpowered by flowers. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, it feels like you're drinking a perfume. So this, I think, what you want to take home with regards to the character of this Pinot, the bitter notes, the austere fruit, but also very high level of drinkability thanks to these sapidity notes. That makes the wine a good companion to go with beautiful salads, whatever you wanna just put together your salads. The fact that there is this bitter notes, I think you can add up maybe some, as an analogy, some walnuts together with your green apples and kind of salad with some feta cheese, and tomatoes only if it's summertime, guys, because there's nothing worse than eating tomatoes when it's not the good moment for it. 1381. That's what does it have to do with wine, by the way? Well, that's one of the battles that Venice lost. Imagine that, Venice, the mighty Venice, and what they were compelled to hand over, like the Treviso area, as a county of itself. So Marca Trevigiana. That's when it became so. And the Borga family, with this beautiful label, I like it, we're going to talk about it in a second, is based over in the Marca Trevigiana. So we are like in the middle of the Pinot Grigio delle Venezie appellation. The Borga family started off in 1940. Look at this. I mean, super like acidic colors, like you have the yellow of the sun, of course, but the blue and of the t-shirt, and then it is like a black and white, one of the four cousins. I think it's quite fresh. Why want to talk about it? I don't know, but it kind of like sticks with me. The guy that is there saying, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a winemaker. Who are you? Actually, no, he's much sweeter than that. Really cool smile. Stop. I'm gonna go ahead. So Borga, Pinot Grigio. Herbaceousness, as in with thyme and slightly rosemary. You know, like oil, rosemary oil. I like this. I like this. You know, it just gives me the idea of the beginning of a barbecue when you're preparing your sausages and you get the rosemary and all the beautiful herbs just to add up. Antioxidant, by the way, to your barbecue and flavors. Plus, there's some honeysuckle and lemon, but not lemon. It's just, this is like Amalfi Coast lemon peel. Have you ever tried a lemon from Amalfi? It's just like another planet, by the way. I like this wine because it has good distribution of the tactile experience across your palate. There's good acidity still going on, chewing my third time, some citrus fruit. So the one is in the middle palate with all the sweetness of the fruit, but then on the side, it just expands right on the side thanks to the freshness of the acidity. And it has got good, almost a little bit of sapidity. It's very light, but very refreshing with a good kick. So this is a very this wine just makes you feel like you can drink it without and forgetting about water. So food-wise, fatty food, whether you go for fish or, you know what? Now that I said barbecue, like some nice wild chicken, some how do you say in English, partridge or you know, like poultry on the barbecue, and some aubergines. There is a little bit of that smokiness going on. Pinot Grigio Brut millesimato 2018 vintage. So this is a spumante with 1 year, no, 18, 20, is it 2020? To a couple of years of aging. Let's crack the bottle open, and while I do that, let me remind you that this is still the Borga, sometimes say Borga, and instead of Borga, it's Borga family. The 4th generation of winemakers. 1940 is the beginning. Let's get the crown and the cork off. And I don't know, this feeling, this thing reminds me of like it's just party time, right? And I'm thinking right now, voila. Perlage, not too intense, although this is not the proper glass, but you know, nowadays, who use these flutes any longer. So the flutes, you know how in the flutes you have more perlage that comes out because of the deep bottom. So not too many bubbles over there. Ooh la, that's pretty aromatic. It's like herbaceous with lemon and thyme. You know, like is the lemon leaf. And what is there that I like? It's very clean, almost like lavender flower. I feel like I can use it as a shampoo. It's so beautiful. You want to have it on you. I'm kidding. Oh, did I drink it? I did. I like it. Fresh, zesty, crunchy, a little bit of oiliness there, very creamy, some residual sugar that is there to add up some roundness to the wine, but it's not in the way of a pleasant tasting experience. I think this would be quite a surprise actually with your guests, guys. To be honest, I am very surprised myself. I'm not very keen in general with just like sparkling wines that do not belong to a proper, sparkling wine appellation, if you see what I'm saying. But in this case, I enjoy the wine is quite reactive, and it makes it is on the for people that like dosage zero. This is sweet, but it's good aperitivo wine. It's just like it's screaming for frittura. You know how much I love frittura. Right now, just like the small little streams, even like river streams, or what they have in Venice. I never talked about moeke. Is it possible? Did I ever talk about moeke? Like the small crabs that are served in the Venetian restaurants, either with meat or by themselves. Like I could just like gorge like 2 hours just eating crabs and sparkling Pinot Grigio. Ponte, bridge. That's what it means, like Ponte in Italian is bridge. 1948 COP, 2,500 hectares, 1,000 winemakers. That's the kind of the size of this COP. They started off in 1948. 1948, what happened in 1948? The end of the war, 1946. My mom was born in 1940. Oh no, shit, she was born in 1947. Imagine she were to watch this. Well, good thing she doesn't speak a word of English, so I'm fine. I'm sure she'll understand though. Man, mom can read you through like you like a scone. So let's go to the Pinot. What is it? Very light onion skin, so a little bit of contact with the skin with our Pinot Grigio red skin variety. Like Pinot Grigio went through Pinot Grigio, Pinot Grigio. It comes from the Pinot Noir family, like thousands of years, but also like thousands of clonal selection throughout the years from the Pinot Noir, Pinot Blanc, Pinot Grigio. So very ancient variety. A lot of people forget that because Pinot has become, like what you like. Oh, I'm having a Pinot Grigio as if like I'm having a white wine. But Pinot Grigio is like one of the most noble ancient varieties in the planet. Yes, very light, so like super short contact with the skin, just to add up. It's almost like it has got like a Provence rosé color. This would be very successful on the shelves. You know how people buy rosé because of color. It's crazy, but it's like that. The nose is clean fruit, super peachy. This is like peach, like it's peach extract. Watermelon, honeydew melon. It's just summer. It's just like it's summer in my head right now. And what else is there? Like gentle floral presence. Not too much, but it's there. Very light, very low level of alcohol, which is good for me. Always good when you don't have alcohol burning. particularly for summer kind of like conceived wines, if you see what I'm saying. Like this is stuff that most people would drink it on a summertime, and you don't want to be just like slammed with alcohol, right? I mean, somebody do, but in terms of pleasure, which is what we're all, that's the reason why we're here, guys, you know, like that's why we work in this business, is because we're looking for harmony, we're looking for balance, we're looking for pleasure. Who doesn't? But in this case, I like the wine is not too intense. It's quite light, but there is good drinkability. Very clean fruit on the palate. A little bit of like a red, crunchy fruit, but it's almost like if you close your eyes and you didn't see the color, for me, it's more like a white wine style. Good to crack it open like this and enjoy it by itself, but there is good enough acidity to match it with food. I ended up drinking a little bit of this wine, and there's a good feeling on the aftertaste. What would I go for? For sure, this is super sushi friendly, for sure. You know, a lot of... Is it possible? Did we talk about pizza?
No.
Never talked about pizza? No, I'm sure I talked about pizza. But I'll give it a shot with pizza. You know, just what? Margherita, or maybe what some people abroad call it pepperoni. Pepperoni here is peppers, like it's not salami. You know what I'm saying? There's some crazy stuff out there, but let's give it a shot with pizza pepperoni. I think it's gonna be a good one. I was almost forgetting. Talking about the Consorzio delle Venezie, the DOC delle Venezie appellation. Well, first of all, you get to know that the world of Pinot Grigio, the vineyards of Pinot Grigio in the planet, are basically 50% almost in Italy. And guess what? 85% of it are in Delle Venezie appellation. How many winemakers produce Pinot Grigio in this area? There is 324 of them, and 39 are copes. So within the copes, there is even more winemaker. So in other words, there's hundreds of winemakers that produce this beautiful white wine of Italy, by the way, the most recognized Italian variety. In the past, this wine used to be pretty like dilute, and in the 90s was like a very small percentage of vines was Pinot Grigio, roughly was 3,000 hectares. Today is 26,000 hectares of Pinot Grigio. And right now, this Pinot Grigio is way more fruit-driven, way more complexity, above all, way more length. In the past, it was kind of dilute and neutral. Right now, there is spices, there is minerality, and way more complexity. Basically, this appellation has brought a brand new revolution. As of 2017, this is how young the Consorzio is. By the way, the largest Consorzio in Italy, across 3 regions, Trentino, Veneto, and Friuli. Boom! Where is the revolution? Revolution is the fact that there is vineyards, new vineyard management, young entrepreneurs, young vigneron. They're all there making sure that the world can drink the delicious Pinot Grigio delle Venezie. Are you wondering what to pair with your Pinot Grigio? Well, there's plenty ways to go. First of all, Pinot Grigio with its spiciness, natural spiciness, is perfect with an aperitivo moment. That's, I think, the best you can do. So like little nibbles of course, like fried fish, sushi, guacamole and chips. I mean, that kind of stuff. I think there is no better variety, no better wine than Pinot Grigio delle Venezie to go for. Do you want to have pasta with Pinot Grigio? Of course you should have pasta. It's an Italian product at the end of the day. So, pasta. Well, with pasta, I would be quite cautious with I would go with some light sauces. You know, like you want to go like light fish sauce, or you can go like some pasta with veggies, beautiful risotto that you can have it with, you know, like beautiful risotto, like because of the cheese, the fatness of the cheese, the acidity of Pinot Grigio is gonna cut through it and make it as a perfect food companion. I would refrain from heavy ragu sauces or risotto with, I don't know, like bone marrow risotto. That could be a little bit too much. You need something with heavier body. Main course? Well, main course you can work with, you know, like white meat, chicken, of course fish, but not fish that you're gonna cook for too long. You want something that is like lightly like steamed or baked, and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, dash of lemon, salt, boom, off you go. Pinot Grigio is basically the ultimate Italian white wine. And what is the Italian kitchen about? Simplicity. 1, 2, maybe 3 ingredients, and off you go.